Hi, welcome to MathScroll. In this video, I'd like to show you how to use the application. First off, I'd like to discuss the layout of the tool. In the menu bar at the top, you have these subject areas, and as you hover over them, you see the underlying concepts of these subjects in the drop-down box. We'll come back to it later, but for now, in the body of the application, you have the input box where you can punch in any math expression or equation that you'd like to solve, and underneath you have this basic keyboard where all the numbers and you also have X and Y to be able to punch in any algebraic expression that you'd like to solve. In addition, when you click on that ABC button, you get the additional alphabet characters, and similarly when you click Greeks, you get the Greek characters that you may want to incorporate in your equation or expression that you'd like to solve. Going back to the basic keyboard, um, uh, or rather going back to the input box, this input box is incorporated with an expression or math expression editor that allows you to type in expressions or equations as you would normally write it in paper. So, for example, if I were to type 1 by 2, see, like 2 comes right underneath 1. Um, Plus, if you have any expression within brackets, like 1 plus 3 within brackets, and then put a division sign, the whole expression goes up as numerator, and you don't have to deal with like forward slash or backward slash and the clutter that it produces. Additionally, like when you put a power, for example, power, it neatly goes in as superscript, and similarly, like when you have square roots, and you get the square root symbol in the editor. It just helps with removing any ambiguity as the user punches in the expression into the application. Now, when you hit go button or you hit enter in your application, you're going to get the answer. And the answer comes in two parts. In the first box, you have the final solution, and in the second box, you have the step. Now, sometimes in the steps, you have the show steps button. When you click it, you get additional details as to how that particular step was arrived at by the application. Now, if you don't want, you can always hide steps. So it's a toggle button there. Um, Now, going back up, you'd notice that the steps got populated right where the keys were. So to go back to the keys, you can click on keys, and to go back to steps, you can click on steps. Now, if I want to change something in my expression, I can do that and click hit again, go again. I'm going to get the answer. Now, there is this examples right in the middle. If I click on that, I'm going to get the examples that the application already has built into it that you can click and get the answer for. Now, each subject area, each concept here has its own set of examples. So like for example, long division, you have this as an example, and then you can click go and you're going to get the answer. Now, for you to start, you can always go to any of the concepts that you want to learn and then click the examples there, and then make changes as you like to whatever you want to get, and then you get the answer. There is a couple more things that I wanted to discuss. One, with respect to the keys, or rather with respect to the input box, oftentimes we write math expressions where we miss out on multiplication symbols. Inherently, we understand that there is a multiplication symbol. For example, 12x plus y times 12x plus y. If you do this, notice I did not put any multiplication sign between 12 and x, and I did not put any multiplication sign between the two expressions. And in these cases, the tool actually handles the multiplication sign. But there are cases where there may be ambiguity, and hence, I have limited to allowing expressions to put multiplication signs only between brackets and between x and y. So for example, if I were to put factor, if I want to find factor of this x square plus 2xy plus y square, notice I did not put any multiplication sign between 2xy. The tool handles as if there is a multiplication sign between x and y. So I have limited this to only x and y as variable, whereas if you were to use any other variable, for example, a, b, and b square here, notice it did not, or rather it assumed AB to be one variable. This is just to make sure that I'm not limiting user to just use one variable, one letter variable. Sometimes they may want to use two letter variables. So that's why I did not want to put multiplication across every letter here. Um, um, so these are the places where user needs to be mindful of. And one good thing is um, if you're unsure of what expression was entered in, it's the first step in the step section is it can basically confirm what you put in and what the application understood is exactly the same or not, and that is somewhat helpful. So be mindful of looking at the first step in the steps to make sure that this is what you entered in. Um, um, Yeah, one more thing, and there are couple of reserved words or reserved letters rather. So I is always used for complex numbers. So if you're trying to use I as a variable, the application is not going to give you the expected results. Similarly, D is reserved for a differential operator, and hence you may want to not use D or I as a variable. I hope you would enjoy using this tool as much as I enjoyed building it. And please send me your feedback if you have any regarding how you like the tool, or whether you wanted some other improvements in the tool, or things that you didn't like about it, at contactmathscroll@gmail.com. Once again, thank you for using the tool. I hope you will enjoy using it. Thank you. Bye.